Redleg here. Hope you're having a good closing out of your week. Hopefully you're able to get some stuff done, accomplish what you needed to, and all that entails. I wanted to do an early morning video just because I'm busy during the day and tired in the evenings typically. Lots going on currently with me, but I wanted to talk about the subject of home security. I've done videos on this in the past, and so have many other people, but I sort of wanted to just kind of circle back and go through some items that maybe some people don't know that they can accomplish pretty much on their own or with the help of somebody that's handy. But I want to talk about doing the simple stuff first, right? So, and that it involves, some tools and some hardware, and then maybe a contractor, so to speak. But we'll get down to that here in a minute. But number one is the ability to reinforce your doors and windows at home. Now, I understand some of you live in apartments and you're just not going to be able to do what I'm talking about here, right? But for those of you that own a home or condo, you ought to be able to accomplish this pretty easily with the help of somebody that's handy, or even just researching it and doing it yourself. But the first one is reinforcing doors and windows, okay? And that involves using these heavy-duty, 3-inch screws. There's different varieties. I like drywall screws just because they're so sturdy and they just really grip well, but there's all sorts of heavy-duty screws that you can use to reinforce your door jambs and your window jambs, and that allows the screw basically to go through and penetrate the wall stud and make a tighter grip around that actual window or door frame. And that keeps it from being able to be, pried open as easily. A lot of contractors just do the bare minimum when they build something, and you could do much better if you supplement those installations with heavy-duty screws. The second part of that is, good locks that work. If you've got a lock that's not operating properly, by all means get it repaired or lubricated to where it does work. There's no sense in you having a lock that doesn't work. That's worthless, And also get yourself either a secondary locking mechanism that, either one of those flip over ones like a hotel has, or a chain, the old chain. That might be a cheaper fix for some people. And then they even make these little wedges now that you can wedge under a door to keep it from being able to be pried open or kicked open. And some of them have like a pole that rests up under the door lock, the actual doorknob, into the floor, and it does not allow the door to be pushed in. And hell, I think they sell those at Walmart. It's definitely Home Depot, but or Lowe's. Any hardware stores should probably have that, but there's a lot of options out there to reinforce doors from being kicked in, give you a little extra sense of security. But yeah, peepholes are huge. If you got a door especially a front door that people come to without a peephole in it, man, that's crazy. You can go get them pretty cheap, and they're very easy to install as long as you have some sort of drill and a little hole saw or drill bit. But it's definitely doable. All you got to do is do some research on it. So reinforcing doors and windows, that's number one. Number two is increasing the lighting around your home. Everybody talks about, having this or that, but I think if you can get yourself a good set of solar motion detecting lights, you could do yourself a real favor. On the sides, on the rear, anywhere that you don't have decent lighting at night, it's a good idea to have that, just because it does increase the likelihood of scaring somebody off, rather than it being dark. Number three is a security system with a smart doorbell, right? So Ring is one brand. There's many versions. I think Slage makes one. There's a bunch of different versions of smart doorbells that act as security as well, and you can, any of the security companies pretty much offer this service now, along with their actual security systems that they sell. So look into that. If you don't have one, or if you do have a security system without a smart doorbell, maybe you should call them and tell them you need an upgrade so you can have that installed as well. And they have microphones too, so you can talk to them, tell somebody to get off your property or whatever the case might be. You can do it remotely or at home. Another one, number 4, would be adding some security shutters, or a lot of people call them hurricane shutters in the hurricane prone areas. This is becoming a pretty trendy thing to do, especially in the higher end developments and neighborhoods where people have a little bit deeper pockets. But a lot of people are having these security shutters, screens you might say, installed on their doors and windows, where basically they hit a button and they roll down all the openings, and basically it's pretty much it's a fortress pretty much from that point. But look into the ability to get security shutters or security screens in your area. I'm not sure the cost. I understand it's pretty pricey for the most part, but there's different versions and varieties that you can get in order to accomplish what you're trying to do, I think. And they all finance, so that's just part of life now. And then number 5, the final one, and again, these ones that I've mentioned beforehand, those are just simple stuff that we can do as everyday homeowners, But number 5 is, what I call the defense hardware, your 2A items, your 2A stuff. There's a lot of people that are getting into the 2A now just because the world is so insane and they want something at home as far as a defense mechanism. And so I would encourage everybody to look into that. If you haven't already, make sure you stay trained. Make sure that you understand the rules of deadly force in your state, in your area. Make sure that you're abiding by current gun laws, and don't do anything that's going to put yourself or your family at risk. But I would seriously consider having some sort of defense mechanism, defense hardware in your possession at home, if not everywhere you go from here on out. So anyway, that's a quick video for this Thursday. Hopefully everybody's having a great end to their week. Hopefully you've got a good weekend plan. They got a pre-Thanksgiving weekend coming up here, and hopefully everybody's got plans to see family and friends and enjoy themselves. I never know how many of these we have left, so I would encourage everybody to get out there and see as much family and friends as you can. Try to smile a little bit and have a good time. Just keep your eye on the ball. Make sure you're aware of what's going on around you, as I'm sure most of you are anyway. And don't forget to top off your fuel tanks before the weekend. Gas continues to rise. In my area, it's between $3.05 and $3.15 typically. So you know what to do there. So with that, keep prepping, stack it deep, and long live the Republic.